Hey guys, hope you're doing great today. Man, what a great day it is in Nashville. Hopefully it's good where you're at. Man, I had an absolute blast this morning hanging out with one of our team members, Kevin Wallenbach. Kevin came to my house. He lives here in Nashville now. We had a great time this morning with about a 3-hour strategy session. I got so excited when he left. It was like, man, I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay because we got so much that we're working on. But one of the things that we were talking about is a podcast that we're going to be releasing soon. So stand by for that. But when Kevin was probing deeply, like he always does, he was asking me questions about, like, what is it that you're trying to convey? What is it that you want to nail down? What is the very thing that you want to get to? And I started walking around my office, and I had a golf club I was swinging around. I was thinking, like, what is that thing? And I remembered a movie clip that I love. And some of you are going to know what this is, but it was a movie released back in the 90s called A Few Good Men. And some of you weren't even born. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about. And rarely do I ever watch a movie more than one time. But I watched this movie over and over and over. It's called A Few Good Men. I think it was 1992 when it was released. Robin and I had been married about 12 years or so, and 12, 15 years. And I remember us watching that movie over and over and over. And I remember a scene in that movie where Tom Cruise and Demi Moore were sitting in this apartment, and they were racking their brain how they could get to the bottom of this situation that they were dealing with. And I remember Tom Cruise walking around the room, and he had a wiffle bat. He was swinging that bat, and he was just so angry, and he was just thinking, how can I get to this guy? What can I do? And then it dawned on him. Get to him through his ego and through his pride. That's what his approach was. And he was in the courtroom. I'll never forget it. Jack Nicholson is sitting on the stage on the witness stand, and Tom Cruise was right up in his face, y'all know. And then Kevin Bacon, the plaintiff's attorney, was over there losing his mind. He was freaking out. He was objecting over and over, saying, you can't answer that, don't answer that. And Tom Cruise knew that he only had one shot. He knew, man, I'm going to give it all I've got, and I'm either going to get court-martialed and kicked out of the military, or I'm going to win. And he was willing to push all the chips in, all of them. Kevin Bacon was in the background freaking out. This guy was losing his mind. And the judge was saying, you don't have to answer that question. Jack Nicholson, you don't have to answer that question. And he got so infuriated because his ego got the best of him. And he said, I'll answer the question. And then Tom Cruise said, hey, you can't handle the truth. And Jack Nicholson, he's the one that said it. He said, you can't handle the truth. And I started thinking about that line, and I thought, you know what? That's the way it is oftentimes in our lives today. Like, we say we want to know the truth. We say we want to get better. But then all of a sudden somebody tells us the truth, and we're like, hey, that offended me. You know, I don't want to hear that. And I want to ask you what kind of guy you are. Can you handle the truth? Are you a person that really says that? You give lip service to it? Or do you really want to know? And it's what we deal with every single week in Ironsharpensiron Mastermind. And I'll be honest with you, there's some sparks fly even in there. And some guys get offended oftentimes, and they're like, man, that stung. That was really tough. But you know what happens as a result of that? They get better. Their blind side, their blind spots are revealed to them, and they deal with it, and they get better. People do it to me all the time. I've got blind areas in my life, blind spots in my life that I've got to deal with on a regular basis. And I say sometimes I want to know the truth, but then when I hear the truth, it stings. And then I've got a choice. I've got to do something with it, or I can, neglect it and go the other way and not pay any attention to it, and then stay in the very rut that I'm in. So the question really gets down to this, and I want some of you to comment below. I want you to tell me whether you're giving lip service to you want to know the truth, or you really don't. Are you that guy that sits on the witness stand and says, you can't handle the truth if I give you the truth? And then he gives him the truth, and he tells him all the things that needs to happen in this court case in order for him to be court-martialed and escorted out. I just want to ask you today, are you dealing with the truth? Or are you sticking your head in the sand? What is it that you know that you're lying to yourself about that other people that know you well could help you? And that's what I so enjoy about being in Masterminds now for almost 25 years, is you go in there and you come out a little bit bruised, right? You come out, your pride's hurt a little bit and you're like embarrassed. But I really do want to know the truth. I want to know so I can get better, because I don't want to live a life of just mediocrity. I don't want to live, a C, average, close to the bottom as you are the top. I want to excel. That doesn't mean I'm going to always excel, but it's not because I don't want to know the truth. I want to get better in every area of my life. And the only way we can do that is to surround ourselves with people that you subject yourself to their scrutiny. You give them permission to tell you the truth. And that's the other question I wanted to ask you, is like, what is necessary for you to hear the truth? Is it from family members? Is it from business colleagues? Is it from people you go to church with or in civic organizations? Like, who is it that you're willing to listen to? And what do they have to do in order for you to tell them the truth? So that's 2 questions. Just put in the comments below, yes, I want to know the truth, or like I say it, but I don't really mean it. And then what are the qualifications of the people that you're willing to listen to? Is it trusted advisors? Is it family? Is it business colleagues, people in your church? Who are those people that you're willing to listen to? Hey, go out there today and really ask yourself these difficult questions. Let's surround the wagon, see if we can help you out. But are you willing to know the truth? Y'all have a great day. We'll see you.